Review.
Time travel has been the stuff of science fiction for many years. Our known laws of the universe and physics themselves are said to prevent travel through time with no known way to subvert them. Occasionally, though, some evidence will surface to suggest that this is not altogether true. So here is our top 5 list of supposed time travel evidence. Let's begin.
Number 5.
Håkan Nordqvist. Our first item on this list is that of a Swedish man named Håkan Nordqvist. He claims to have entered into some kind of portal or wormhole whilst attending to a household repair. What makes this claim even stranger is that he recorded video footage of his future self alongside him. He claims it all took place on the 30th of August 2006. When he arrived home, he found water on the kitchen floor and, assuming a leak, gathered his tools and opened up the doors to the sink to start work. He states that when he reached in to examine the pipes, which seemed to be further back than he expected, to the point where he had to crawl inside the cabinet, where he discovered that it just continued, eventually showing a light. Upon exiting through the opening at the end of the tunnel, he says to have met himself as a 72-year-old, and that the year was 2042. He claims to have tested the man's knowledge of past events such as things specific to his school years and events through his childhood, where the man was able to reply correctly. He even had the same tattoo, which Håkan said was the last piece of evidence he needed, and claimed that he was told of a few future events but sworn to secrecy.
Number 4.
The time-travelling hipster. This photo has made its way around the internet for some time now, and at first glance nothing seems odd about this old black and white photo said to be of the early 1940s reopening of South Fork Bridge in Goldbridge, British Columbia. Upon closer inspection though, one of the crowd appears to be out of place with modern clothing complete with sunglasses and a screen-printed t-shirt. If the suggested error is true, and the photograph has not been edited in any way, then the type of clothing worn by the man would simply not have existed. Though it should be noted how strange it is that the man in the photograph doesn't appear to be gathering any attention from the crowd. One would assume that today's modern dress in the 1940s would be cause for attention from the public in any capacity, but still, this photograph is a very interesting example of possible time travel evidence.
Number 3.
Chaplin's Time Traveller. In late 2010, a YouTube film claiming to prove time travel went viral and led to many people speculating on its validity, as well as attempting to prove the event was not time travel at all, and the supposed technology featured was something else available at the time. George Clark from Northern Ireland uploaded the clip entitled Chaplin's Time Traveller. It was made from a new DVD release of the Charlie Chaplin film The Circus, including previously unreleased footage from the film, which included recordings taken at the film's premiere at Grauman's Chinese Theatre in 1928. The scenes in question show a woman walking by holding an object to her ear which by all accounts looks strikingly similar to a modern-day mobile phone. Many possible explanations have been put forward for this, including a variation of manual hearing aid which was in development at the time of the film's release, though the woman does not appear to be in conversation with anyone else in the clip, and the supposed hearing aid is being used away from the other passers-by.
Number 2.
Ancient Chinese wristwatch. In 2008, Chinese archaeologists had allegedly found a small but perfectly formed metal sculpture of a modern-day wristwatch contained within a previously undisturbed coffin dated to be around 400 years old. They are said to have found the object with its time displaying at 6 minutes past 10 and the word Swiss engraved on the back in English writing. Suggestions were made at the time that a possible explanation was that a time traveller had gone back from the future whilst wearing their watch as usual, and that having such a futuristic device, somebody had decided to imitate its design in a small metal sculpture.
Number 1.
The Philadelphia Experiment. Though not strictly time travel, the top spot on our list involves the mass instantaneous movement of a large object and many people through space-time itself. The Philadelphia Experiment, as it has come to be known, was a practical study in the 1940s revolving around the possibility of actively cloaking a naval vessel from enemy radar using electromagnetic fields. The actual results of the experiment involve occurrences far stranger than anyone could possibly imagine. The cloaking was to be accomplished by generating massive amounts of electromagnetic energy around the ship, as the theory was that radar and other detection signals would be absorbed or move around the field. As the electromagnetic field increased in strength, it increased the expected radius to around 100 yards, and within this field the ship became blurred to normal vision and a greenish haze formed around the vessel. This effect continued to increase in severity until, to the amazement of the observers, the entire ship vanished from view. The ship had not just vanished though, it is said to have been instantly transported several hundred miles from Philadelphia to Virginia. After a few minutes the ship once again vanished and reappeared at its original location. For the crew, however, the event had been a terrifying and damaging experience. The events had drastic effects on the crew members, and supposedly during the experiment, crew members found they could walk through solid objects, and when the field was shut off, men were found embedded inside the structure of the ship itself. The results were gruesome enough that some men are said to have lost their minds, and alleged after effects among the crew members ranged from men having their movements slowed down as though they were frozen in time, simply disappearing, spontaneous human combustion, and the continued ability to walk through solid objects.